Hello bookworms! Today I'm going to be doing my June book haul for you. I have obviously a bunch of books to show you. I have a couple of things that came in the mail from publishers to show you. Let's get into it. So my first most prized possession of this haul, I think, is the UK hardback edition of Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I have been wanting this book for so long. I actually pre-ordered the US edition because I did really like that cover too. And I just remember like going back and forth when the book was coming out and being like, should I get the US one or the UK one? And I went with US, and then I ended up loving the UK one, of course. This one has been online for so expensive ever since I was like, why didn't I get the UK one? But I finally found it for a reasonable price. It actually used to be a library book, but I took the like plastic coating off of it. So I'm really excited to have this one in my collection. I just love it. I love the gold foil. I think it's so pretty. And then it has a mint spine, and the actual hardcover is mint too. And it just makes me so happy. And then while we're talking about Naomi Novik, Del Rey Books was kind enough to send me a finished copy of Spinning Silver. This book actually takes place in the same world as Uprooted, but it's a different story. It's more of like a companion novel. So I believe that you can read this one without having read Uprooted and you won't be confused. But I'm really excited because, again, I do love the US covers too. So now I have a matching set for these. And I also pre-ordered the UK hardcover, and I'll have a matching set of those. And I really hope that Naomi Novik writes more of these fairy tale fantasies in the future because they're just so good. Then got one of my most anticipated releases, or actually my definitely most anticipated release for June, which was A Reaper in the Gates by Sabaa Tahir. This is the third book in the An Ember in the Ashes quartet, and I'm so excited to have this in my possession. I really am looking forward to reading this one. As you guys know, like I love An Ember in the Ashes and I love A Torch Against the Night, so I'm really looking forward to like diving into this one so very soon. This was actually sent to me by Penguin Teen, and then they were also kind enough to have Sabaa sign it. So it says, "To Kristen from Sabaa Tahir," and that just like made my life. I was like, oh my gosh, because I have so many copies of her books, but I don't have any of them signed. So this is my first one that I like have signed, and it's really special. Then speaking of signed books, I have a copy of Legendary by Stephanie Garber. I had pre-ordered this one from Good Choice Reading, but it's the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. And then here I have Welcome Back, Kristen, love Stephanie Garber. And can I just tell you that I am reading this book right now, and I almost didn't film because I was like, I just want to keep reading. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to start this book this morning. It wasn't, but I'm so into it, and I can't wait to get back to it once I finish filming for the day. Then I got The World of Lore, Monstrous Creatures by Aaron Menke, and this is a podcast turned TV series turned book series. So I have not yet watched, read, or listened to anything in it, but I do think that I'm really gonna enjoy it because it's all like creepy, mystery, legend type stuff. It sounds like totally up my alley, and I have a feeling that I'm gonna love it. And there's actually one other book that's out already, and then there's a third one that's coming out, I think in October. So I'm probably gonna end up getting those ones as well once I start reading this one. Then I got The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This is an adult fantasy novel, and from what I've heard, it is like very, very adult and explicit. So if you are on the younger side, you might not be ready to read something like this, but I believe it's like very violent. I actually don't know too much about this one, except for the fact that it is an Asian-inspired fantasy. Then, if you'll remember, a couple of months back, I got a fairy handbook, and they actually came out with another one in the series, but this one is a mermaid handbook. It's by Carolyn Turgeon, who I know herself has written some like fairy tale retellings. I haven't read any of them, but these books are just so beautiful. The fairy one is purple, this one's obviously blue, and it has copper pages. Back is pretty. I just love these. This was like, they're by Harper Design. They always have like such beautiful books between these and the Minalima ones. Favorites. I also got the Owl Crate exclusive version of From Twinkle with Love by Santaya Menon. This is about a girl who is an aspiring filmmaker, and she writes letters to different female directors, and that is like the way that her story is told. So it sounds like it's going to be really interesting, and I loved her first book, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I also got this Honeyduke's Scratch and Sniff book. I randomly came across it on Amazon, and I love Honeydukes. So, and I love like all of the things that you can buy in Honeydukes because I have the biggest sweet tooth in the world. Look at those end papers. I just was like, okay, I'll take a chance on this book and get it. The inside of Honeydukes. This is the chocolate frog page, and see it says like scratch and savor, so you can scratch it. And actually, let's do it. I haven't tried it yet. It does smell like chocolate. It's not a very long book. It's just kind of like a gimmicky thing, but I like Honeydukes, so I wanted to pick it up for my collection. Then I picked up Tasman by Peter S. Beagle. Peter S. Beagle wrote The Last Unicorn, and I really, really loved that book, so I wanted to read something else by him. From what I saw on like Goodreads and Amazon, this one had really good reviews, so I decided to get this one, and plus it has a cat on the cover. 2 cats on the cover, actually. I was like, okay, yeah, I could definitely get behind this. Next, I have a couple of pretty classics to show you. The first one being Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. I have an extensive Peter Pan collection, and this is the newest installment that I will be adding to it. I just love the cover design, and then it has a really pretty simple teal colored spine. These are by Arcticus Books, which I really love the design of like all of their books. I've gotten a number of them already, and I've also pre-ordered a number of them that are coming out in the next like year or so, and the next 2 that I have to show you are also part of this collection. The first one, of course, being Anne of Green Gables. Would it be a book haul if I didn't have another edition of Anne of Green Gables? I just love this book so much. So again, I love this. I think it's so pretty. I love like the design, and then it has just a simple blue spine. And again, really pretty end papers. And then I also picked up The Railway Children by E. Nesbit. I never read this book, but it's a children's classic, and I've been meaning to get to it. I tend to enjoy children's classics more than adult classics, so I thought this was a good choice. And again, I love the cover design, has like a lavender type spine, and pretty end papers. The next book that I have to show you is The Nutcracker by E.T.A. Hoffman. This is just such a pretty edition, and I actually have the matching Snow Queen edition of this book, and there's another one of the fir tree that I need to get, but I'll probably get closer to Christmas. I just think it's so pretty, and again, look at these end papers. They just make me so happy. I also picked up The Frenchman's Creek by Daphne du Maurier. She's the same author who wrote Rebecca, which I really love, but I haven't read any of her other books yet, and I really want to, and this one sounded really interesting to me. Then I'm pretty excited about this book. I got the Dungeons and Dragons Player's Handbook because me and Andrew and Alexa and her husband Mackie are going to be playing our first game of Dungeons and Dragons together tomorrow. They're coming to our apartment. I'm so excited about it. Andrew and I have been working so hard to create our characters, and Mackie has been working so hard on the story because he's our DM for the game. And I'm just so excited because I've always wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons, but I never had anyone that wanted to play with me, and now I do. So I'm like so excited, and we are hoping that this will be the first of many campaigns. But yeah, Andrew and I have just been like poring over this and trying to make sure that we have everything down so that we're ready for tomorrow. Next, I have Ruined by Amy Tintera. All I know about this is that it's a young adult fantasy, and that is really it. And it's a trilogy, but I do not know anything about the story. I just picked up the first one, and then I figured if I like it, then I'll get the rest of them. I also picked up Grit by Gillian French, which I have already read and I enjoyed. I just wanted to add this one to my collection. It's supposed to be like a thriller novel about this girl who lives in this small town in Maine, and their summer job is that they pick blueberries. I really enjoyed it for that reason, just like hearing about them working and stuff, but the mystery aspect of the novel like totally took a backseat to just what they were doing over the summer and the feminist themes within the novel. So I really enjoyed this one, and I just really enjoyed like how atmospheric it was and how summery, and I wanted to own a copy, and I got it on Book Outlet. I also got The House of Many Ways by Diane Wynne Jones. This one is the sequel to Howl's Moving Castle, which I read and loved like many years ago. Haven't read it in a long time, but I do want to read the second one. I also got 10 by Gretchen McNeil. This is a thriller novel, and I believe there's like a bunch of teens that are all stuck on this island, or they're like willingly on this island overnight, but there's no way off, and they all kind of start being killed off one by one. So sounds great. Then I got the next 3 books in the Queen's Thief series by Megan Whalen Turner, which was a good choice because just yesterday she announced the title of the 6th book, I believe. It's going to be coming out on March 9th of 2019, which is really exciting for fans because she takes like years and years before she comes out with the next book. But this one she already has said like, nope, it's really coming out this date, so it's already done, which is pretty cool. So I have to catch up. These are not going to be in order because I don't know the order. So I got The King of Atolia, The Queen of Atolia, and A Conspiracy of Kings. Then also from Book Outlet, I got 3 Tamara Pierce books. They are a trilogy. The first one being Wild Magic, the second one being Wolf Speaker, and the third one being Emperor Mage. Then I got this middle grade novel off of Book Depository just because the cover reminded me of Luna Lovegood. It just looks so cute. It's called A Place Called Perfect by Helena Dugan. I love the artwork. I love how cute this girl is. The back is cute. So she moves to a town called Perfect where she does not want to live. Like everything is seemingly perfect there, but she starts hearing like whispered voices, and then she meets this boy and she finds out that her dad is not the only one who has disappeared from this town. It turns out that there are a bunch of people called Watchers and they're guarding a creepy secret. So it sounds like it's going to be really interesting. Then I got a cookbook, which is Good Clean Fun, and I actually got this after seeing Monica from She Might Be Monica talk about it. I was like, that looks really good and I want to start making some smoothie bowls, so I'm gonna get this book too. Then I had a couple of comics and graphic novels. The first one being the 4th volume of Over the Garden Wall, which Andrew and I actually already rewatched Over the Garden Wall again. I just rewatch that show constantly because it's my favorite ever. I also got Tokyo Tarariba Girls by Akiko Higashiyamura, which I'm probably not saying correctly, but she is actually the creator of Princess Jellyfish, which I really loved, and this is her new series, so I was really interested in seeing what she decided to do next, and it looks like it's going to be really cute. I love the fashion on the cover of the book and the color scheme, so I went for it. I also got the 4th volume of Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card. So during Book Expo, I went to the novelty at the novel headquarters and it was so much fun, and I posted a vlog of that, so if you want to see it you can go back to my BEA vlog, and there's clips of Lainey Taylor and Ellie Blake talking about their books. And while we were there, the novel had us curate our own novel box that they were sending out to us afterwards, so we didn't have to spend the day carrying extra things, which was so kind of them. But I'm so excited. So I got to pick all of the things in here, so I know what is in here, but I will now show you guys. They gave us like a list and we were able to pick from the list what we wanted in our box. So my first choice was the paperback version of Strange the Dreamer by Lainey Taylor, because I do not have the paperback version, but I love this book so much, so very much. So I was really excited that this was one of the options. Then I got Dear Evan Hansen, which is a novelization of the popular Broadway play. I saw the play for my birthday last year. Andrew got us tickets and we got to see it right before Ben Platt left, which was so exciting. I really, really loved it. It was such a great show, and Andrew and I listened to the music for many months afterward. Like, we still sing some of the songs sometimes because they're really catchy. It's such a good story, and I'm so excited to read like more in depth about it and maybe get some more inner monologue. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Then I have Rule by Ellen Goodlett. This one comes out in September and it is described as Three Dark Crowns meets Pretty Little Liars. So I'm sold. Like, that was all that I really needed to hear about it. But it's about these 3 girls who are all vying for a crown. They're being blackmailed, so they think that one of the other sisters is blackmailing them, but it turns out that it is not one of the other sisters. That is kind of why it's not like, it's like different than Three Dark Crowns. So they have to figure out who actually is blackmailing them. Sounds like it's going to be really exciting. Then Would I Be Me If I Did Not Get a Copy of The Wicked King by Holly Black. This was obviously my first choice book as soon as I saw it on the list. As far as I knew, it wasn't going to be available at Book Expo, but then they did tweet a password, so I was able to get it there, but I wasn't expecting to, so I had already previously checked this one off to be mailed to me, which works out because I do have a couple of friends who are also reviewers that want to read it, and I always feel comfortable sharing ARCs with people who are going to review them. I love this book so much. I also got a pink novel water bottle and 2 pins. This one says Stay Bookish and this one says Must Love Books. Then I have a couple of things that were sent to me by publishers. It was this very cute little box that is promoting Willa in the Wood by Robert Beatty. Ooh, there's like leaves everywhere. You might remember he actually wrote the Seraphina and the Black Cloak trilogy. Those are really cute, like creepy, kind of gothic-y mystery stories for middle grade. This is his new book called Willa of the Wood. So they sent along a copy of the book, this little notebook, a Willa of the Wood keychain, and lots of grass. This is a really cute package. I'm looking forward to reading that. I feel like I've really been getting in touch with my like middle grade side lately. I've been really enjoying a lot of middle grade books that I've been reading. Then Simon & Schuster sent me 3 books by Deb Coletti. I have not read any of her books, but they are all contemporaries, and I don't know how. I never heard of her before, but I'm looking forward to checking them out. The first one is The Nature of Jade. The next one is Honey Baby Sweetheart, and this one was actually a National Book Award finalist, The Queen of Everything. And then they also sent this one along, which is the new one coming out. This one's actually an ARC copy. This one's called A Heart in the Body in the World. This comes out in September of 2018. Then I moved, so I did not get this package until very recently, but Source Books sent me a package for Furyborn. I wasn't able to carry the full thing back with me because it would have been just like too much. So Andrew kindly put it all together in a shoebox so that I could bring the shoebox back but still open it and not know what was in it. So first I have an envelope that says to open it after the big reveal with the confetti popper, which I've seen a lot of people do these online. So the confetti popper lets you know if you are a blood queen or a sun queen, and I think that you just twist it, but I'm kind of scared because I know I'm just gonna get confetti everywhere. But here we go. Ah! Of course my camera decided to stop filming like the moment that I was concentrating on spinning this thing because I was afraid. But there is yellow confetti all over my floor, so I'm a sun queen. Andrew's gonna love this. Now, according to this, I'm supposed to unseal the envelope so I can figure out my fate. This is a messy filming day indeed. So it says, Sun Queen, you are a creature of great compassion, but you're also hard to read. Stubborn and quick to judge, you keep people at a distance because it's easier and because you've been hurt in the past. Being alone, closing off your heart, keeping your head down, that feels safe. But your voice is important, and the people of the world need to hear you stand up and speak. Don't be afraid to hold your head high. That is good advice. So you got lots of confetti. I might as well put on the floor because there's confetti everywhere, so what's more stuff on the floor. Oh, cool. So first, it came with these awesome cards, which are all of the characters within Furyborn, and they all say Furyborn on the back. They have the book cover. Then we've got an Ask Me If I'm a Sun Queen or a Blood Queen button. Some candy that I'm definitely gonna eat. There's like crown confetti. A Furyborn notebook. Most exciting of all is a finished copy of Furyborn by Claire Legrand. I am so excited to read this book. Oh, there's a note from the author. Oh, it's red. This is fun. I'm honestly so excited to read this book. I wanted to read it so long ago, but like I said, with moving and everything, I just didn't have time to read like 90% of the things that I was planning on reading that I normally would have read. So I'm looking forward to reading this like very, very soon, and I will let you guys know what I think, but I've heard such fantastic things about it. And I'm also kind of excited that I am a Sun Queen. I feel like that is fitting for my personality, and I'm going to be editing forever. So that's finally all of the things that I have to show you for this video. Today's actually the last day of June, so I have not yet started a July book haul pile, which is pretty exciting, although I did order a couple things, so they should be coming soon. That is all that I have to show you for this video. Let me know if you like any of the like unboxing things that I showed, or anything that I should get to like very soon to read. That would be much appreciated. And I will see you guys soon in a new video.